Their ghosts are moving tonight, restless.
House on Haunted Hill is about a rich husband and wife who throw a party at a haunted house with a bunch of complete strangers. They pick 5 random people and offer them $10,000 each to spend the night.
Well, if I were going to haunt anybody, this would certainly be the house I'd do it in.
There, the electric goes out, from the ceiling chandeliers fall, and in the basement there's a pool of acid that can disintegrate any human or animal down to the bare bones. Who will live and who will survive this night on House on Haunted Hill? As you all know, I'm gonna get into spoilers, and I enjoyed this film a lot. I would like, if you haven't seen the film, then go please check it out before watching this video. If you've seen the film or just don't care about spoilers, let's get right into it. The plot is derived from the typical old dark house format, which is basically a murder mystery. The characters are always led to believe ghosts are to blame, but in the end, it usually turns out to be one of them is the murderer.
I think everyone wonders what they would do if they saw a ghost.
The first time I saw it, I took it way too seriously, and I liked how it set up a good creepy mood, but I became very frustrated with the plot. The host tells the guests that they'll get their money as long as they stay in the house all night, but then tells them midnight they're going to be bars on all the doors and windows, and all the phones will be disabled, so they couldn't leave anyway. I hated the character Nora. All she does is scream, scream, and scream. She wanders around the place and keeps finding more horrors as if she's just looking for things to scare herself. Then there's a mysterious man and woman who look like rejects from the Addams Family, and they keep popping out of dark corners to scare the shit out of her. And then it's casually explained that they're just the caretakers. After that, you never see them again. Nothing really makes sense. And for a movie where nothing supernatural happens, how did the wife make herself float outside the window? We know she used a hanging harness to fake her death, but the window scene is just a whole other thing. How does she make the rope do this? My only thought is that Nora is so scared of the house and the tricks played on her, and they're so effective that she goes insane and imagines all these supernatural things. The most logical event that ever happens in the film, and what could have potentially ended the movie, is the characters decide they're all going to bed. Yeah, they're all going into their own rooms and nobody's coming out until morning. And if anyone comes out of the room, it would only draw a suspicion on them.
And if we all stay in our rooms, we'll be safe. Because the innocent will have no reason to leave his room. And the guilty will admit his guilt if he or she does.
That's the most sensible idea and the smartest fucking thing anyone has ever said in a horror film. But then they all start walking around the house again. Not one person pops their head out and says, "Hey, you left your room." No mention of it whatsoever. The body count of the film is disappointingly low, but this was before the slasher genre. The old dark house movies always had a low body count, so this was typical. I'm not gonna give away the whole murder scheme, but you would already know someone's trying to kill somebody rather than just quickly shooting them with a gun. And they all have guns. They instead set off a series of chain events like some kind of elaborate mousetrap, the most inefficient murder ever planned. And when you do realize what it is that's actually happening and how it's all played out, it's very amusing. Vincent Price is excellent, and he plays the main host with a very dark sense of humor. It feels like he's inviting you to the party, and he speaks to the audience directly as if you're one of the guests.
And I've rented the house on Haunted Hill tonight so that my wife can give a party. A haunted house party. She's so amusing.
The scenes with him and his wife are the best parts of the movie as far as the dialogue and acting goes. Right away they set up that the husband and wife hate each other, and they explained that the wife actually tried to kill him before.
You remember the fun we had when you poisoned me?
And they just shrug it off and move on.
You'd do it again if you thought you could get away with it, wouldn't you?
These scenes have a dark sense of humor that you would see in an Alfred Hitchcock movie. It's true that William Castle was always trying to rival Hitchcock and would even appear in his own trailers just like Hitchcock. But at the same time, it was a lot like Ed Wood making the kind of films that people would call campy or cheesy. But it's these scenes of underplayed domestic murder attempts where Castle rose above and almost shared the same sly wit as Hitchcock.
Would you adore me as much if I were poor?
Castle just wanted to entertain and put on a good show, and in movie theaters during the scene with the skeleton, a skeleton would string above and was supposed to fly above the audience's head. Reportedly, it didn't always work out and the kids would just always throw things at it, but they went out of their way to advertise it as a new phone process called Emerge, where characters from the movie come to life and emerge from the screen. That was Castle's trademark. Yeah, the film does have its own flaws and it's not a masterpiece, but I love this film and I hold it dear to my heart. The dialogue, the acting, the creepy atmosphere, it's all what I love about this film, and I haven't gone by one Halloween without watching it. Also, this scene is absolutely hilarious.
Come with me.